Good evening and welcome to the LPL Alpha Invitational semi-final, broadcasting live from the Sky Tower here in Auckland. And of course, I am Dallas Easy Fight Today. Joining me here, my partner in crime as per usual, Thomas Blackout Richmond. And it is indeed the semi-finals here tonight, and what a wild ride it's been. 5 weeks of group play has led us up to this moment here this evening. And, you know, things are a little bit different here tonight, Tom. We've got our two teams. They are here as well in the studio playing live. I mean, we can see them here just getting ready, a bit of hard work there on the cell phone. Coming out from Tainted Minds and Corvidae as well, just, you know, prepping up, getting ready for this evening. It's going to be a good one. Tom, what does this mean for the players? You know, so they're here, they're playing on LAN. What does that mean for the match tonight?
Well, to make it through the round robins obviously means that as a team they're doing something right. But in terms of the gameplay, playing on the local area network, basically it gets rid of a lot of the lag and the input. So basically these players here will be playing on the top quality setups. They will have no lag shooting each other, and it's pretty much the ultimate setup you want to have when playing another team.
So yeah, if you've just joined us, we've had 5 weeks of round robin play where we've seen 6 teams duke it out for a chance, obviously, to come to Auckland here and play in the LPL studios live. Sadly, Order, LOL123 and Darksided just missed the cut, but tonight, Corvidae and Tainted Minds right there. You can see them second and third, and it is the big matchup here. Tainted Minds versus Corvidae to see who will take on the might of Greyhound Gaming next week in our grand final. But, you know, tonight, these are the stars of the show. Tainted Minds taking on Corvidae. And, I mean, we did have a bit of a chance to catch up with Corvidae earlier today, so let's have a look to see how they're feeling.
It's Jordan Hill, and my alias is Cruden. I'm from the Central Coast in New South Wales, Australia.
But no, it'll be Iron going down early.
Right now, I'm currently the in-game leader, so I make all the calls and the shots in-game and whatnot. What makes it so good is probably the individuals that we have in our team. We have very strong individuals who know how to play the game very well.
My name is Daniel Whitfield. My gamer tag is Dans, and I'm from Sydney.
Dans will be able to pick up one. Looking for a second. One punch should be coming through. Dans will get it. My goodness. They can't get that bomb onto the site now with 30 seconds remaining. He drops Soju.
Yeah, so my role on the team is just a lurker. So basically I'm split off from the team sometimes with them. And basically I just get kills, rotating bomb sites.
Will fall. Dans with the 4K.
So we've got a lot of teamwork, good chemistry. Also like the way we have our leadership structured, like a lot of freedom in the team. So everybody gets to do their own sort of thing here and there. And we have a lot of like practice executes that we run and seem to be working for us, so yeah.
My name is Anthony Aries Christou. I'm from Victoria in Australia, and I'm 24 years old. My role in the team is very much a support-based role.
We've only got 15 seconds to play with Aries able to drop Blitz. Expecting the player behind the stack will drop stack.
So what makes Corvidae so good is the teamwork. I feel like on paper we might not have the star-studded lineup that other teams in the top 4 may have, but where we lack in quote-unquote star power, we make up with teamwork.
So my name's Iron Raju. My alias is Iron. I was born in Malaysia, but I'm from Melbourne. My role in Corvidae is I'm the team AWPer.
But Iron is already through the death hole. Doesn't even break the vents to kill him.
I say our strengths are that we can adapt to situations quickly. We're a pretty explosive team.
So he has that CZ. He's going to be happy to look for whatever he can get, and Hez will be one of them. He drops Res as well! My goodness, Iron, we might hype you up a lot, but boy, so far he's already deserving of it.
My name's Nikhil Victor. My player tag is Nikez, and from Australia, Melbourne. So I've always been at the, playing near the top of CSGO, Shiana, so, I've played against all these top teams, Tainted Minds included, and yeah, as a rifler, a pretty sharp rifler, I'm sure I can, bring a lot to the team. So I was really excited, to hear that, I could come to New Zealand for a trip, and it's pretty cool to see, what LPL have done here. It's, obviously, they've set themselves really nicely in the Sky Tower.
Well, there we go. We see Nikes has got his blue steel look on lock, but I mean, so that's the one extra thing to mention as well. So throughout the tournament, Corvidae have been playing with Herbs, but this evening they do actually have Nikes filling in for them. So I guess, quite a few things to say about this. How do you think that's going to impact them this evening?
As I've mentioned before in previous games, when people have had to fill in for Corvidae, I think 1 week previously, these guys are a team, as they said themselves, they rely a lot on teamwork and working together. So definitely having one player missing, I think, is probably not going to benefit them in the long run, as I said, they are a team that relies a lot on teamwork and being on point as a team. However, the replacement that they do have is a very, very solid player in terms of individual skill. So if he can turn up and bring his A game tonight, then potentially he might be an upgrade, but it really comes down to it at the moment.
Potentially be an upgrade, we hear there. So I mean, you've obviously had the chance of playing maybe with him, against him. You think he is an upgrade from Herbs?
Herbs was probably one of their better players. However, Nikes is known in the scene to be one of the best riflers going around. So in terms of skill, they do not lose anything with Nikes, in my opinion.
Well, that's really good for them. And I guess, a few other things they've had. Obviously, our man Iron step up week after week. Cruden has been quite explosive.
Yep.
What needs to happen for Corvidae tonight, for them to really match Tainted Minds?
I think they need to basically all five of them need to be firing on an individual level. If they come into the game, maybe Iron's playing well, Nikes is hitting some shots, but the rest of the lads aren't really pulling their weight, they're going to find it hard. You come up against a team like Tainted Minds, and all five of their players are very individually skilled, and they bring a lot to the table, so I feel like Corvidae have to do the same in return.
Well, we do have our on-site interviewer in the form of Katya standing by with the captain of Corvidae, so let's have a look and see what they've got to say.
Hi guys, I'm currently with Aries from Corvidae. Previously in the Alpha Invitational tournament, you and Tainted Minds played together and they beat you 16-6. How have you and your team prepared for this rematch?
Yeah, both games have been under very similar circumstances, and unfortunately for us, we've had to use a sub and a stand-in both times, which makes it a little bit harder to prepare. You don't have your five that you usually play with, but at the end of the day, we're just going to come out and play some aggressive counter-strike, try get in their face, try hit some shots, and anything can happen. From our point of view, all the pressure's on them. I mean, they're expected to beat us 2-0, they're expected to win this whole tournament. So from my point of view, we're the underdogs, we've got nothing on us, we're going to come out, have some fun, play some counter-strike, and just see what happens.
So last time you played Tainted Minds, it was a best of 1, and today it's a best of 3. How do you think that's going to impact your games tonight?
Yeah, look, it probably doesn't favour us. Best of 1 probably favours a little bit better. Best of 3 is sort of advantage of teams that have the deeper map pool, and that's definitely Tainted Minds, and definitely with using their 5 roster and us using the sub, it might be a little bit trickier for us. But with that being said, we've all played CS long enough to sort of adjust with the sub, and we're just going to go out there and give it a go. Like we expect, hopefully get 1 map at the very least, if not 2, and win this one out. But anything can happen. It's Counter-Strike, so we'll just give it our best.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Aries, and good luck for tonight.
All right, thank you.
Well, thanks for that, Katja. And I mean, some insight there was sort of mentioned, that, how does the best of 1, compare to the best of 3, the deeper map pool, obviously working out for Tainted Minds. Do you think Corvidae are feeling a little bit worried about that?
Yeah, definitely. Like as Aries was saying, that they would have come into this game firing up and playing aggressive. If they're doing that, it is a lot easier to do that in a best of 1. Doing it in a best of 3 basically means you have to win twice, and to win twice against a team like Tainted Minds, it's very, very hard. You might be able to sneak 1 in, but sneaking that second it's going to be a lot harder for them. In terms of the maps as well, you don't get to veto as many maps, therefore you're playing maps that Tainted Minds are familiar on, and with Aries saying that they do have a deep map pool, that makes it very hard for Corvidae to get Tainted Minds on a map that they're unfamiliar with.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway from that was, Aries saying they were going to come out and play some aggressive Counter-Strike, and I cannot wait to see that.
Definitely.
But let's put the spotlight onto Tainted Minds. We did catch up with them earlier today as well. Let's see what they have to say.
My name's Connor Morgan, my in-game alias is Chutch, and I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, 4-man stack on B, that'll be 1 for Chutch. Looking for some more.
We have such good experience in our team. We have such knowledge and veterans to our game, especially with our coach. With all our skill as well, we make such a good team.
My name's Josh Potter, and I'm from Byron Bay, New South Wales, in Australia. And I've slotted in pretty well as a rifler.
Corner, and it's not often they check it. Inns is able to peek out, and Prodigy in the 1v4 through the smoke.
We're all solid, and we work together as a team.
My name is Ryan Palmer, my in-game name is Zusi, and I'm from Hamilton, New Zealand. My role it's kind of more of a supportive role now that we've picked up.
To push in, Lonsdale drops in. Ofnu picks up 1, Zusi gets a second. And now as they push onto the side with the triple!
Our strengths and Tainted Minds are our experience and our ability to adapt in the game.
My name is Chris Henley, my gaming name is Opnu, and I'm from Auckland. I'm a rifler and also kind of like a secondary call to help our in-game leader out where I can.
Oh my god, Opnu! With the wall bang! The timing on that!
Our strengths is our experience in the region. I think having played overseas, a lot of our players have a lot of experience.
Name's Yam Anagenekon, alias Yam, and I'm from Brisbane. Okay, so I'm the team captain and I guess the sniper, primary sniper. So I basically call the strategies at the start of the rounds.
Annihilates Luke! Yam,
Everyone's just pretty good individually. We've all been playing for quite a while, got a lot of experience, and yeah, we just gel pretty well. Pretty cool, yeah. I haven't been to Auckland before. It's pretty nice, and this studio is also pretty awesome. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, nice to hear Yam thinks Auckland's pretty good. You know, I don't think it's so bad if I don't say so myself, but I mean, you can see them, they feel pretty confident in themselves and they're quite humble. You know, the big thing I sort of take away, they all say, we're pretty good. I think that's probably the key line there, isn't it? Pretty good. Now, how do you feel, obviously, for Tainted Minds? What do they need to do, obviously, to, you know, stay on top of their game? Because they are probably the more favoured team coming into this matchup.
The big one for them, as Yam was saying as well, they're a very experienced team, so they've been to locations like this and played at LAN venues like this before, where the pressure really is on. So for them, it's basically just to bring their A game as well. If they can bring the game that they bring online and that they've been bringing for the first 5 weeks of the round robin stages, then they should comfortably win this map. Basically, it comes down to them just being on point and playing their own game, using their teamwork and not really moving away too much from their own game.
And I guess the other thing as well, you know, we've talked about it briefly, you know, Corvidae do have a coach here this evening as well, but, you know, and the Tainted Minds have had the same coach for a very long time. So, I mean, how do you think having that experienced coach works out for them as well?
It's definitely a benefit if they make any sort of mistakes on the day or stray away from how they generally play the game. They have someone there watching them play, so they can easily pick up on this. They don't have to wait until they get home and rewatch the game or something. They can talk about it at halftime and make the necessary changes mid-game as opposed to at the end of the game or when you next play.
You know, and that is something they mentioned as well, you know, their ability to adapt in-game. That's definitely something to watch out for on the side of Tainted Minds. But again, we do have our on-site interviewer, Katia, catching up with Yam, so let's see what he's got to say.
Thanks for that, Dallas. I'm currently here with Yam from Tainted Minds. So how have you and your team prepared for tonight's matches, and how do you think they're going to play out?
We haven't really done any specific kind of practice, just regular stuff as a team. I think we all know that we should beat them, so yeah, it should be a pretty comfortable match, I think.
What would it do for you and your teammates if you were to win this tournament?
Yeah, it would probably boost our confidence a bit, I suppose, in really making sure that we're the best team in Australia, and playing on LAN is always good, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that, Yam, and good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that, Katia. And I mean, you see the confidence there on Yam, you know, saying it should be a pretty easy matchup. I mean, if you're Corvidae and you hear that, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, I guess you can take it two ways. You can shake in your boots, or you can sort of say bring it and, you know, really give it to Tainted Minds. LAN is one of those funny things that you can actually be the worst team and pick up a result. It's not like online where you know, it's generally stable in their results. On LAN, things can happen. A team can come up to the event this day, they're feeling a lot sharper, or they're on point. Their teamwork's very good, you know, they're firing each other up. On a LAN environment, it really changes things. So with Yam saying that, I guess it is the truth. They should realistically win this game. However, if I was Corvidae, I would know that it's LAN and I would be giving it all I've got.
So, I mean, you know, we'll get into the vetoes in just a moment, but let's just have an overall prediction from you, not particular map scores or anything like that. Yep. Who's taking the series out tonight?
I mean, if I'm going to be honest here, I will have to go with Tainted Minds, just the fact that they are the better team. They've got a lot more experience and they're playing with their full lineup tonight, so that definitely does give them the advantage. However, Corvidae could pull something out of the hat, but I'm going to have to go for a 2-0 here for Tainted Minds. I think one of the maps will be a blowout, the other one will be a lot closer.
Well, my mind's telling me Tainted Minds, but my heart, and I'm going to have to listen to my heart here, it's going to be Corvidae. Hopefully Corvidae can take this one out 2-1. But let's get into the veto and get right into the action. Let's throw it over to our casters, over to Nutters and Wayfarer. Take it away, lads.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dallas. And as you say, I suppose Corvidae come here as the underdogs.
Yeah, definitely.
Tainted, I mean, they're coming in confident. They're going to be happy. Corvidae, you know, I don't think they've got as big of a chance as Tainted do. We do look at it. We look at the time that these teams have been together. We look at it. We look at the experience, and we have to say, Tainted Minds are obviously going to be looking a little bit better. They've had more LAN experience on top of that as well, whether it's been positive LAN experience or negative. What are you thinking we're probably going to see out of this?
Well, I mean, we had the interview with Ares, and he talked about Tainted Minds being a team that is expected to win this tournament. He's he's a realist. But he's still coming here to win. He's going to be hyping up the boys right now. They're going to be talking strategies, talking tactics. But to be honest, it's going to be a real knockout. I think Tainted Minds are going to take it away.
Yeah, well, let's see how badly this is actually going to go for either side. As we head over and have a quick look at the picks and bans, we can see, obviously, it is a best of 3 today. We have Cash coming up first, picked indeed by Tainted Minds. Then we're actually going to see Mirage, picked by Corvidae. And assuming we actually split those, we go 1 apiece, we will end up on Inferno. You'd have to say this is, with just 2 out of the map pool, you'd have to say this is basically the Oceanic rotation of maps.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Cash came through, especially after Corvidae got bumped by Greyhounds a couple of weeks ago. That would have really hurt them. But Mirage, obvious, they've gotten a lot of rounds against them. Tainted Minds lost to Greyhounds 16-7. I think it's a really good map for them. Inferno as well, it's a very balanced map. Tainted Minds, Corvidae, they play great tactical CS. I think they're going to be favouring the CT side, and they can both really perform on that map. So, the teams will be really happy about the map picks.
I suppose the main question then is, if we've got a lot of confidence in Tainted Minds, and we're not as confident in Corvidae, do you think that this is essentially Tainted Minds to lose?
Well, yeah, I mean, we want them to win. They got the Kiwi boys. They got Ofnu and Zusi. We want to see them represent New Zealand and take it through to the final and, go up against the #1 seed Greyhounds.
Well, as it is, we will be heading straight in here, right back here on LAN in the Sky Tower. This is going to be Corvidae taking on Tainted Minds, coming straight into the pistol. 4 sets of armor up for Tainted. Zusi's gone out with a couple of flashes and that kit. As he did say, he's dropped back to be more of a support player after Inns joined this team and has merged in absolutely beautifully. Corvidae themselves will have 3 sets of armor, both Ares and Iron, both going hard, both going for some utility. Getting smokes straight out over onto this A site. And Ofnu, he's going to be sitting on the balcony. Shots flying through. Zusi picks up the first one. Ofnu's able to drop Nikez. Push coming through. Cruden picks up a single kill in return onto Ofnu, but it will be coming back to kill him. Zusi will get him well flashed. And now the 4 versus 2. If Corvidae can get their hands back on the bomb and get this planted, but Iron going big, dropping Inns and Zusi. 2 Glock headshots down to the 2 versus 2. And Iron, he's going to be looking for this. Yam popping some shots off towards Ticket Booth. Touch already trying to get the flank in on Iron, but the bomb is set to go down. Second player is in connector, and will be attempting to get a push up here. Iron, I don't think he's expecting this play behind him. The push will come in from Church, and now that leaves Ares just looking around. Church gonna fire off a few shots, will drop Herbs, and now Tainted Minds, well, they take a nice early first round.
It was good to see Corvidae go straight into a set piece on Ace side, but that CT player with having no smoke to sort of interfere with his hold, he was able to get straight into it and just pick some shots out. But Iron, he turned that around. It was a 2v4 and he got 2 great kills that changed the momentum of that round, and it came down to a 2v2 clutch. They got the bomb plant. That's good. That's going to build up their economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Corvidae, they got the bomb plant, so they only buy a single PT-50 in on Iron, a flash onto Cruden. They're not going to be looking for too much out of this round. If they can do any sort of damage, they'll be pretty pleased. And I suppose, all in all, they'll want to really avoid Inns with his UMP. Zusi picking up 1, 2, 3, make it. No, only the 3. Ofnu and Yam, though, will finish the cleanup, dropping both Cruden and Iron. Luckily enough, they obviously didn't go down to Inns' MP9, so that, I suppose, the money farming that they usually hope for in that second round doesn't come through. And Corvidae, they will be able to pull out some AKs into
Yeah,
this round.
Definitely something, that is a positive out of that. Zusi getting all the kills with the M4, not getting the bonus money with the MP9. That is something that Corvidae can take on to this round with the AKs.
Yeah, Iron looking to line up that mid smoke, but his team just going to push it out anyway. Get themselves up into mid. Dan's just going to peek outside the box, and Yam will be able to flick onto Ares. Nice shot from him. He's just probably going to try and smoke himself out, get himself away from there, but Church is just going to peek him from short. He's looking for Dans. That'll be one. Nice work from Tainted to get a nice early two-man advantage into this round. Yam, though, he is relatively heavily tagged. 6 points of health. He has to work nicely with this. A nade flying straight over the top. Offnu backing away from Connector, and already Corvidae in a little bit of an awkward position. Nade's just flying over. Iron is still relatively heavily tagged. Zusi has actually picked up an MP9 for himself this round. I believe he may have actually swapped that with Ins. Cruden will fall at his hands. $600 straight into Zusi's pocket, and an upgrade to an AK. Near perfect. Nikez peeks in but can't spot Iron through the smoke. He will be able to pick up Zusi though, pushing back from the A-ramp area. Player still sitting very close in jungle though, and both players right next to Connector. Yam's got to peek out. Oh! That'll actually be Offnu getting his head ripped off. Yam's managed to back his way out of that mid window. And now down to that 3 versus 2. Church very much aware that they could push towards this B site. Will be interesting to see just where they get around to, as Iron, should he do any damage to Yam, he'll be absolutely annihilated. But with 20 seconds left, they know that that plant for Connector or short is now out of bounds. Ins is looking to peek around. That flash will come through. Just manages to avoid it. The plant set up. Nikez firing off some shots. Will fall at the hands of Ins, but no! One for Iron! He can't drop Yam. Even on that 6 points of health, a single bullet would have done it for him. And Tainted, they'll take it up to a straight 3-0.
I think these T-side players, they're showing their nerves. I mean, that molly really caused a bit of hesitation. They weren't able to go straight down on the plant. It was the teammate's molly. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but it's nice to see these two players have the confidence to turn this round around after losing the first 2 picks. That early mid-control from the CTs, we can't have that. They can't get away with those 2 first frags. T-side players need to be a little bit more careful, and they need to trade out those guys so that those deaths have a purpose.
Yep, as you say, we now have Ares, Dans, and Iron all picking up some deagles. Will be those 3 players actually pushing straight up into mid. Yam spamming away, looking for something. Chutch, he's already ready to get aggressive, and it will be Zusi spotting out Iron, coming out of Palace. Drop comes through, Yam picks up 1, picks up 2. Ares gets a single frag back, but Zusi now drops Cruden. Ins is able to push up short, and Ares will also fall. Tainted Minds, simple, it's 4-0. The lost bonus building up for Corvidae does mean that if they want to, they can probably pull out an AWP here. But it's going to be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, Tainted Minds looking super confident, and that's a great lead. A lead that we sort of expected, and on the CT side, it is a lot harder to play T side on Mirage, so getting an early lead at CT, it's definitely going to boost your confidence. Oh, wow, pixel shot on from Yam out middle of the AWP.
Absolutely beautiful shot from him. Picks up the early first frag, and as you said, they need to be looking for someone to trade these back. They need to make these, I suppose, losses worthwhile. Not that any loss is worthwhile at any point, but the smoke over onto short, just to try and hold Ins off, force him slightly further back. But instead, Danz is just looking to peek around. Ins still, he's actually going to get smoked off in mid-window as well, but Zusi on a very aggressive flank, already pushed all the way through Palace. He'll just be waiting to hear any sound cues, but everything would suggest that they're either hitting that mid area or towards B. As Nikez is able to sit at the back of apartment. Cruden is just going to be going in and joining him. He does indeed have the bomb on his back.
Well, it looks like we're setting up for maybe a B split. Looks like maybe somebody's doing a lurk and connector. Could be a bit of a distraction or a late rotation to get him behind the CT players when the execute happens on B. Be interested to see how he gets this timing right.
And I believe that would insist that the smokes may have actually flown over onto this B site, or they are at least getting ready for this push. But Dan's...
Offnu's aware of it. Great entry from Dan's. That was superb.
Zusi is already on the flank here. Ares, no, he's going to take a couple of tags, but that now means that Corvidae have to get this push out, or they have to fight Zusi. They've only got 20 seconds to play with. There's no rotation for them from here.
20 seconds.
They are still going to try and head out towards A. They need immediate frags, but Zusi's going to be able to drop Dan's lurking in connector. Push will come through, he'll drop Ares as well. Inns can take out Nikez Cruden. He's just going to look to force this plant. He will be able to get it down, but then a 1 versus 4. He's got to hold on here. He's looking for at least someone. Zusi may or may not expect him. Cruden will pick up 1, but Yam just around the edge of the barrels will be able to drop him, and Tainted Minds knock it out to a nice, simple 5-0 lead.
Zusi with the flank, the back door, as you would say, it really threw them off. I mean, it was a great work from Dan's on the lurk. He got the timing perfect. But the CT players were ready for a B, and that was because of the information from Zusi flanking through T-spawn.
It was absolutely beautiful, though, from Yam, picking up that first frag. Just as soon as he peeks into mid, just catches the player unaware, catches him by the tiniest bit of skin. And Corvidae, they're forced down to 5 AKs once more. That loss bonus, it's right up there for them. They don't really have a lot to lose. Will be the flash coming through, but Yam manages to completely avoid that. A single shot through the box could take Iron out, but Yam will be able to still peek around the side of this smoke. And Iron pushing close, he'll take the tag. Yam still looking for him to push bottom mid. That gives away a lot of information. 4 players now already out on this A site for Corvidae. They're looking for whatever they can get. Dan's peeking around, looking for at least something. Zusi, he's going to be trying to push up from CT, but the T's have got a free A site here. They've got free reign to plant this bomb. It will be a 5 versus 5 retake. I mean, I know you see these players in retake servers and you say, oh, 5v5 retake, that's not very realistic. Well, here we are.
Well, yeah, this is a move that Tainted Minds do quite often. They often give the site, and then they do a slow retake once all the smokes have faded. It's really well orchestrated because it's almost like an execute onto the site, using all the flashes and smokes to their advantage.
Yeah, but Dan's and Cruden and Nikez, all of them getting kills in here. Cruden is now looking for Yam. He's going to peek stairs, and they pick him up. Leaves Chuch 1 versus 1. Cruden, he's absolutely on fire here, but Chuch is going to fall. Corvidae will pick up their first round. There'll be chair slaps all round in there, as Tainted will lose their first. I'm sure they'll probably be seeing that as more of a tactical reset, though.
And that's just what they need. That's what Corvidae need to get into the game. A round. It builds up their momentum and that faith that, okay, we found a way in. We can win this. We can do it, boys. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely, as Tainted will still be able to buy perfectly fine back into this. Yam is going to peek at top mid again. He's not going to find anybody just yet. Actually gets flashed by his own teammate, but Ares looking to push straight out of these B apartments. Chuch just jump spotting. Will have spotted at least one. Puts Molotov down early, but the players, they'll have heard that. They're not just going to push straight into it. Cruden's able to drop him. Leaves an almost wide open B site, but Inns on short. He's going to fall as well to Nikez and that Galil. Cruden just wants to get this bomb down. Tanked up by Inns' Molotov. Lovely work there. Zusi getting aggressive into Palace to make sure there's nothing on the flank. But that does now mean that...
gun save, yeah.
My goodness. Their money was not looking good.
With the bomb only just going down, they've decided very quickly that it's just not worth it. And I guess that's because they trust that the T-side players, you know, once they've got a bomb site, they're going to be very hard to, you know, it's going to be really hard to retake it. And we saw the work that they did to win that clutch last round. You know, Corvidae, maybe that's where Tainted Minds have to stop Corvidae. They have to stop them getting onto the site. Corvidae is very well orchestrated on their defense.
Well, I suppose the key is, once they've sort of got onto that bomb site, unlucky in the early round, you know, where they did get the plant and then just lost out, but it does seem as though they've at least got a little bit of strength to put in behind this now. Corvidae will pick up their second round rather nicely, keep the weapons that they want alive, keep 3 of those AKs, as well as an M4, and now Corvidae, well, maybe they can build on these 2 rounds.
Well, yeah, I guess we have to start thinking about how many rounds could Corvidae get as CT. You know, I see them capable of getting 8 rounds against Tainted Minds on CT. You know, they've really got to turn it up. 2 rounds right now, that's a great start.
So what you're saying is maybe if they're able to get 8 rounds on T as well, they'll be looking at least relatively positive heading through into that second half?
Definitely.
All right, well, we'll just have to see how that does go. As Tainted, you do expect them to have at least a slight advantage here. Nikez looking to peek towards top connector. Will be able to drop off new. Lovely work from him. Will be able to smoke out, but Inns holding close in ladder room. Ends up blowing the gun away, though. Has to try and peek out and grab that. And I do believe he's still looking to get his hands on it. Zusi just aware of these players possibly pushing out Palace. Will be able to spot and drop Cruden. Once again, it's just not looking too good. Chuch, he might even look to try and get his hands on that AK. But instead, no, he's actually going to be able to pick up the first kill onto Ares. He's going to peek out, but Iron, he'll be able to drop Zeusy down to the 3 versus 2. Nikez and Iron both have to work together here, try and hold on to this A site. And Tainted, they know that they can get the retake out here. They can take their time. They know what they're doing. And still have plenty of utility to work with.
Yeah, this is really impressive from Corvidae. They have been super clutch, and they're in a 2v3 right now. I can see them winning this round.
Yes.
Double clutch, baby. Come on.
Yeah, Nikez will be able to get the first kill. Pick up the second onto Chutch. He's looking for ins now. Looking to peek into connector. Nikez comes huge. Picks up the 4K. Corvidae.
Sub. Woo! Yeah, far out. Where did he just come from? He is showing up for a LAN final. This is what we want to see in semi-finals. On LAN, yeah. Far out. You can see his aim shaking on that third kill. He was so nervous. Ooh.
That was absolutely beautiful there from Nikez. Looking for, I suppose, a good few frags into this map. As Tainted will now be forced down to just those pistols. No armor room behind them. Yam opting for absolutely nothing, understanding that he wants to get an AWP out. Yam will actually be able to upgrade to Chutch's Deagle after Iron sprays him on down and peeking out. Still looking Yam. He's not going to be able to drop Ares, but Ofnu. Oh my, how is Ofnu not dead? Ares finally kills him. But at the loss of both Iron and Dan's, Yam backing away, still trying to get a bit of damage off, but down to the 2 versus 3. Tainted can already be happy with the damage that they've caused. Although the problem is, Yam now rotating through towards this B site. We do have Zeusy. He's enjoying these long flanks, isn't he?
Oh, he sure is. He sure is. And back-to-back out mid, that was very lucky, you know, to be able to get out of there. It was quite confusing to see that happen. And Ares doing good work. That's nice with the MAC-10. That's going to build his economy. This is a really good round to be winning.
Zeusy is going to get caught out whilst reloading the gun, but he's still going to be able to peek in, spot out Ares, and still drop him. Nice spray control there. Just holds on, but with 10 points of health, he has to find something. Puts that smoke down.
Nice.
Cruden, though, through the edge of the box, will be able to pick him up. And now, Corvidae, they've picked up 4 rounds in a row. Tainted Minds. Is this their time to answer back?
And between these two teams in the past, this is the map that Corvidae has come really close to beating Tainted Minds on. You know, they've got 13 and 11 rounds the last 2 times that these teams have met on this map. So, Corvidae, they know that this is their chance to be able to win this match. They have to show up on Mirage. So they're going all out, and I like this.
Iron's got to be able to drop Yam as he tries to go for that push-up onto short. Support player pushed into mid with him, but that is just not good enough as Zeusy is able to get a trade back onto Ares. Often he's able to drop Dan's, and Zeusy picking up another one. Drops Nikez, instantly Tainted into that advantage. Corvidae sitting down with just 2 players alive. And Tainted Minds, they have this round in the palm of their hands. They have the bomb down, and you'd almost say this is, the A side is in the palmer of Zeusy's hands.
I was really impressed with Iron getting the first pick with the AWP on mid, but 2 players coming up Palace and getting picked off with no interference on stairs or jungle, no smokes or flashes to support them. It just seemed like they gave away 2 easy kills, like a little bit of a mistake from Corvidae, I think.
Yeah, and Tainted, they know that the bomb's still down. They know that Corvidae have a little bit to work with, but Cruden, he's peeked up. They know that the bomb's gone, and that'll be Cruden falling. Final player was Iron, sitting up in Palace, but he's been tagged down to 4 points of health. He'll have to rotate in through A ramp. Already on the flank is Chutch this time. And Tainted, they're liking this. They're liking this playing aggressive. They will be able to push on through. Chutch is able to drop him, and Tainted, well, it's not a full reset, thank God.
Far out. Like, Zeusy's just on fire on the A side. I think you want to avoid him. You want to try and catch him on the rotation. You don't want to be going one-on-one with him. He's just playing out of his mind right now. The Kiwi boy, avoid him. Zeusy, no go.
You heard it. Avoid the Kiwi boy at all costs, right? It just seems like whenever it's a New Zealand competition, they just want to come out and frag it. It's going to be pretty awesome. Either way, Zeusy is still that main A site hold. Ofnu sitting under Palace. And they do change up these positions quite often. Ofnu, he doesn't sit here 2 rounds in a row. They do change it up. Zeusy, he sits generally at ticket booth, but he's had success with it. Ofnu will be able to peek out, pick up 1, pick up 2. Zeusy holding back behind triple stack, looking to get the rest of these frags. He'll be waiting for them to peek out into him. Iron just taps around with the bomb. Zeusy will fall at the hands of Iron, though. Peeking out over the top of ticket. Ins, he's going to be able to avoid any sort of spray. Iron now has to try and hold on to this bomb. Nikes takes a bit of damage, gets peeked into by Chuch, and now that leaves Iron. Avoids the shots from Yam. Will be still looking down towards CT. He's got his hands on the bomb. And Tainted Minds, they just need to try and figure out when that bomb's moved off because, well, as it is so far, Iron, he still has it. He's making his way all the way over towards B, and they obviously seem to think that the bomb has been dropped somewhere on site.
And he's really bolting for it, which is a really smart move. It's a risk worth taking. Yam hasn't even clicked to even think that he's at the B side. And here he is. Here he is. He should be a fraction too late. So they're getting the plant for the economy. That's great. But I want to see IN win this.
If he peeks out here, though, it should be all in the favour of Yam. And with Tainted Minds having a two-man advantage in that 3 versus 1. No, Iron, he's able to peek around. He's picked up at least where one of these players is. Will be able to back off. Knows that there must be one probably coming from short. At the very least, he may expect one from apartments as well. But no, he's playing his angles perfectly. Sadly, he can't look in every direction at once, and Chuch will be able to drop him. Tainted Minds will pick up their 7th round. And Corvidae will be ever so slightly reset this time.
I mean, we're seeing good work from Corvidae, where they really turned the game around when they were 4-0 down. They're getting the entries on mid, which was a change of circumstances. It's really important that they get those smokes up and take Yam out of the game. That's how Greyhounds bet them. They took Yam and Ints out from the double AWP. And that's what you have to think about. How can you take those 2 players out? And you have to remember Zusi on A site, playing Firebox. He's playing a really important role at the moment.
Break those really matter where he's playing, does it? It doesn't matter where he's playing, he's getting frags. But Offnu, he's going to peek into connected this time. He picks up one. Yam's there to assist him, pick up a second player in mid. They do have this player close pushing unders, which I believe is going to be Cruden. If Yam's not careful, he could just get caught out, but he does back away at the perfect time. Iron's got to get chunked by that nade. And Cruden... Wow, that sensitivity. You can just see him moving each flick of the mouse. Rather interesting to see what happens from here. But Chuch, he's already peeking around short. They are waiting for these players to push. Iron, I don't think his head was spotted out. But he will be peeking around. They are expecting the players up. Connector, that will be Cruden going. He jumps, he spots Iron as well. He now knows he's there. But Iron, he's actually got his hands back onto an M4. That nade just goes down. Nikes peeks out. Spots Zusi, drops him, standing on top of Firebox. And Iron, he's now left one. No. 1 versus 2. He's brought himself down. 2. Yam still going to be sitting on top of Ticket. But no, Iron, he's just going to back away. He's not got the bomb. He's got 40 seconds to work with. Ins, he's going to sit towards this B site. Now, if Iron gets any sort of look and actually gets some shots off onto Ins without Ins realizing, this could bring it down right the way to a one-on-one.
We're seeing Iron come down to this one-on-one again. And it's slightly better odds going 1v2 than 1v3, but he's got a tough job on his hand, and that naked
Ins. Oh, won't do it. It'll drop him to 1. Ins will pick up the kill in the end, but my goodness, Iron, he was so close to surviving.
It's really nice to see Corvidae turn these rounds around. Seems like Tainted Minds are getting a head start every round with the frag count. Tainted Minds, when they're in that space and they're getting to use their aim, they seem to be getting those picks, and maybe they just need to slow down a little bit at the start of the round.
Maybe they do indeed, but Corvidae, they'll pull out some more rifles. They are 4 rounds behind, and that does secure Tainted Minds at the very least the first half. Iron, he's going to be looking to peek through, possibly get his team up into mid. And as 4 of them do push, it will be Iron and Cruden picking up the first 2 kills. Yam and Zusi, 2 of the top fraggers for Tainted so far, both going down. Ins, he was playing that double up, but Offnu's able to drop Nikes. Instantly traded back by Dans, and now the 2 versus 4. Chuch, he's getting aggressive up into apartments. If he's able to drop Ares, he'll be looking good. This now brings it to that 3v2. This is where it becomes absolutely crucial. The bomb still back towards top mid, and I don't know whether they'll be expecting Ins on this second AWP. Cruden's going to fall down to the 2v2, and this is not a position Corvidae wanted to be in from where they just were. Dens is going to be able to actually push all the way out onto this B site, and they could even be right the way in behind Tainted, not even knowing where this bomb's going to be going down.
Well, it looks like he just bet the CT spawn player by getting through the vent. It was just a fraction. He just got past into market at just the right time. But here they are, they're calculating it. They're understanding that there's no noise on A site. It must be heading towards B. And Iron has just been a fraction too slow.
Yeah, it's a shame because now Ins has that angle. He'll be able to get the first shot onto Dans, and from what was an almost winnable position for Corvidae, they're now down to that 1 versus 2. The push will come through from Chuch. He'll be able to drop Iron, and very unlucky there.
If they just went with their gut and charged towards B, and if Dan's should have just lurked market, you know, that was a great position to be in. It was a game-changing position. You know, maybe sacrifice that there possibly is no one on B side. Oh, unlucky. I feel like that was Corvidae's round.
I feel like he almost had the time to possibly even go back, try and look for that player, maybe even push the site. And I feel like he had the time to come back because they didn't start moving until very late. The bomb could have been out on the site, but more crucially is that Dan's could have been a lot further back towards market before Iron's even pushed. If Iron gets killed in apps, then at least it knows where one of those players is in comparison. But we've already seen Cruden fall down early to Ofnu. Nikes will be looking for a little bit of damage through the box. Takes Yam down a little bit. Zusi will get deagled. He's used to doing the deagling, but Chuch picks up one. Ofnu gets another. Now Dans and Nikes in a 2 versus 4. If Nikes can keep that deag on point, he'll be pretty happy. But Dans, he's getting pushed in mid as well. Ofnu, they're getting aggressive. And Tainted Minds, you can tell that this is some confidence coming out. That'll be one for Ofnu. Dans will still be there. He'll get tagged up. Ends with the Kobe. And Tainted up to a 10th round. I feel like they've got a very strong T side as well. So I don't know how well this is going to go down for Corvidae.
Yeah, it's looking tough at the moment. 4 rounds, you know, they got 4 in a row, and then they just hit a brick wall again. These momentum, the momentum that Tainted Minds gets on, the runs that they get on, we can't continue that. It just builds their economy, and here they are with full economy, double AWP, finishing off the round.
Yeah, double up. They'll be happy with that. But Iron, he gets in early. He drops Ofnu. Sitting up close, though, will indeed be Chuch. He's going to fall. Dans will drop him. We've seen Corvidae in this position before, but instantly turning back into Tainted's favor. 3 versus 4. Still, that nade going to do a bit of damage, you'd think. Iron will be doing okay. Inns, he's already back on the side. He's confident that these players aren't going to keep pushing him, and he's right. They are backing away. They know how deadly he can be, and assuming that he's not the only player playing on B, they have actually fallen back. Zusi's gone around to help him, leaving Yam on A all alone. But I feel like I almost trust Inns and Zusi, if Yam does fall, to retake this.
Well, it's interesting to see Corvidae regroup and connector. At least they're in a close proximity of their teammates to be able to trade anyone they come across. So they're playing that number advantage right now, 4v3, which is really smart.
Yeah, Iron is just pushing out himself, and they are going to put a bit of utility down. This should now give Yam the idea that his teammates need to rotate. Will be the first. No, Yam misses the first shot, hits the second, but Cruden's there to refrag him instantly. Brings Zusi into the game, drops Dans. And now 2 versus 2. Flash comes straight up. Aries going to try and get that damage right on back. He'll be able to drop one. That's Zusi going down. Ends now 1 versus 2. Molotov heads on over to Ticket. It doesn't hit though.
Molly.
Just a little bit off. We'll be waiting. The smoke goes down right on top of the bomb. He has a chance to just drop on this and get the defuse, but he's not going to be able to. We'll just tap the bomb. He'll wait for at least one of these players to peek him. He'll be able to drop Aries. He's on fire here. He's going to tap the bomb. He's going to stick it through the smoke. Cruden just catches him out. Gets Corvidae their 5th round.
Wow,
my goodness, that was a bit close.
That would have hurt if he defused that. That was nice work from Cruden, and that was a good clutch round again from Corvidae. These rounds are going to wait all the way to the wire. It's just a matter of being able to close them.
My goodness. Woo. Just
wow. They're really going to have to shut down Tainted Minds, and is this mission impossible? Can they do it? What are we going to see?
I do wonder if they can. I think it's going to be a struggle.
Pistol round's so important for the CT side players.
Look what they've
I hope they trust their B
Zusi and
defense,
Ofnu with 4 flashes between them. They're just going to try and take hard control here. And it looks like Chuch, he's ready to just rush out. First flash comes through. Dans will go white. Push comes through. Zusi, though, he's going to be able to pick that first kill. Yam, instantly the split through short and mid. Nobody's held that control very well. Aries trying to push through. Cruden, both of these players trying to come out of market. Neither of them is going to be able to get a shot off. And just peeking around, Yam's gotten a far distance. Ofnu holding in ladder room, picks up one. Drops down looking for Nikes, but Nikes will drop him. Aries trying to push out instant Chuch. They combine, both market players gone, and Nikes coming from short. Gets some shots off, but Yam will drop him. It's a team ace.
Oh, that was a huge round from Tainted Minds with a fast speed split. The CT players just weren't prepared to be able to defend against it. What were they to do? The BX player just got isolated and annihilated. And the guy that was alone to defend the bomb site from market, what's he to do? He's got one line, everyone knows where he is. He's pinned. He's got to pull out a miraculous 4K to be able to win that round for his teammates, and he's not going to do it.
Especially not when you're that market play is slightly focused on apartments, but you also have to worry about short. And when Tainted give you such a perfect split, you got 3 players pushing through apartments, 2 coming straight up short, and Ofnu, he just sat in that ladder room and he sort of pulled a lot of that attention away as well. It's going to be difficult to actually get anywhere with it.
And it looks like Yam's going to be working with the Mac 10 towards B site, and this is what we see a lot from them, like especially from Yam. He's farming up for that AWP with the Mac 10s and the SMGs, and he just leads the way and he loves it.
No, that's actually going to be Chutch first out. Aries will pick up the first kill. Aries gets the second, but Yam does get that trade back. Pushing through, Ofnu gets a bit of damage off. Doesn't kill Dans, but does finish him off in the end. Nikez is going to fall at the hands of Zusi. Iron gets one back. 2 versus 2. They want to get their hands on these weapons, but Cruden from behind picks up one. He'll be looking for another. Zusi stuck in at bench. Iron will be dropped. And now Cruden is looking. He's going to fall. The man.
Woo! Ryan Palmer with the 2K clutch. I like it. 22 frags to boot. This guy is showing up. Showing you everybody what New Zealand can bring. I really thought Corvidae had that. How these rounds can turn.
Yeah, you're a very excitable man right now, Chris. I'm very surprised.
I love Counter-Strike, and I love these these environments, these clutch scenarios, and we're getting a lot of clutch opportunities here. It's all the way to the wire, and it can go either way.
Would you say you're a proud Kiwi?
I am a proud Kiwi.
Good.
I am a proud Kiwi.
And
I love New Zealand.
I'd hope that both Zusi and Ofnu feel the same, because they deserve to. They are absolutely representing, and it's beautiful to see. Corvidae, they've got the 5 USPs, single flash on Aries, and they've stacked mostly towards this A site. They do have that single player sitting towards that mid window, which could be a little bit awkward. But Yam, he's going to tap away. Tap, tap, tap. Picks up one. Oh, trying to bounce the nade down onto Cruden, but it doesn't matter. He'll kill him anyway. Chutch peeking out of Palace. Picks up one. Nikez will get a frag back. Gets his hands onto the USP. The Mac 10. But instantly the T's, they don't even want him to get away with that. They're pushing out to play. They've left the bomb. They're just going to leave that over towards B apartment. Someone is going for it. But Enz, he's just going to push out. He's just going to drop Dans. Now Nikez 1v4. Maybe if you can hold on to this, he can do a little bit of damage later on in this round. But yeah, he's taking that bomb straight towards B. The T's just going to push in on him anyway. Nikez almost gets gone out. Puts out the Molotov and will just be able to hold off Inns for a moment, but I don't think it matters too much as Ofnu does peek in. They're just ready for him. It doesn't matter which direction he goes unless he stays in there, but Inns peeks before the flash. I don't blame him. That was actually a nice little play. You think that flash is coming, you expect him to peek after. Just cut him out. As it is though, Zusi on that crucial round. This was absolutely beautiful from him. He just gets those shots off, holds the spray. Actually fell to 9 points of health.
What I really like about it is his movement. He's using the map to protect himself. They're just his angles. It's just real smart play. It's really logical.
It does see, however, Corvidae pull out some rifles for the first time. But already Tainted, they throw 3 players straight into those B apartments. They obviously know that this may just be a Corvidae weak point. They haven't seen them with the rifles just yet. But you do have to wonder if they'll be able to pick anything up. Inns just going to be peeking around into unders, and this is one thing I've already noticed from Corvidae with these mid-round, all of these rounds so far. They've given up a lot of that mid control, and the biggest problem for them is trying to regain that, especially when Tainted just have such a massive presence. Instantly, Ofnu is able to drop Iron, leaves them already a man down, and now 2 versus 5 if they decide to push one side all at once. It doesn't matter where they go unless Corvidae call or rotate extremely early ends. We'll just head up into that mid window, and maybe they've already figured out that this could just be all over in terms of their actual mid control.
Well, Tainted Minds are playing a really slow and progressive control game as T-side. It's step 1 into step 2, step 3. You know, as each person is getting into their fixed position, they're setting up for the execute. And here we are going to see Ofnu rotate back to B and see a B split. They've got players set up for the rotation to stop that, so it's really up to Aries and Dans to be able to hold B side, because if they don't, they're in trouble.
Well, Aries does get damaged up rather heavily. Molotov will head out. Dans, he's actually on that boost box, and do wonder if he'll be spotted out. Zusi's able to just tap him away, and that will be all she wrote, I do believe, for Corvidae here. Assuming this bomb actually goes down, we just had to make sure that that was going to go down. There wasn't going to be any incidents there, otherwise the clock was running down. Nikez, I feel a bit bad for him here. He's a stand-in. He's left in a 1 versus 5. He knows he's being hunted down. But no, it was a beautiful round from Tainted. You know, they're showing their class, and it's just opening up all the angles. By the point of when they're walking onto the site, the limited angles for CTs to be in, so they're approaching it like that player is going to be there, and they're almost ready to pre-fire it. They just annihilated them. They didn't even come close to winning that round. A bit of a disappointment, but
I just want to say that the lights outside, as Tainted won that round, the lights just outside our casting room were bright green for Tainted winning that round.
Oh, really?
They were. I was looking out that way because I sort of thought it was a done thing. And it's, you know, the lights predict. The lights can predict.
Oh, it was just coincidence. Oh, I thought that might have been a feature of Sky City. Oh.
Well, we'll try and get that set up for the next season if we have one of those.
Hey, maybe we can get Sky City lit up green tonight. That'd be cool.
Light up green for the sake of Tainted Minds. That'd be a bit beautiful. Be absolutely beautiful. But as it is, Corvidae, they're down to a pistol buy for the what could be Tainted Minds' 15th pickup. Offnu is going to peek out. Drop Iron does get dinked initially, though. So lovely work there. Zusi just holding on. Flash will go in. Catches Ares out. He was looking up. Cruden from unders, though, will be able to drop Yam. Yam's dropped Nikes, however, and that means that an AK into his hands is useful. It drops Zusi. Already, Cruden, he's looking good. He's got that armor in behind it, but that Molotov's going to go down. Could force him back. Flash will come through. He's waiting for a player to peek out Palace. He's not going to be able to find anything, though. Church trying to peek straight past triple stack. Dan Cruden, he will be able to drop him. Insta will drop him through the edge of that smoke. Now a 2 versus 1. Dan's, he has to look for at least Offnu as an attempt to get out of Palace, and that will be Offnu falling. Ins fakes the plant, just backs away. Dan's gonna be looking here. Shot through the box. He will still be hunting, and Ins is gonna fall. Corvidae on the eco, pick up their 6th round. But now they have to build on that and pick up another 10 in a row.
Oh, Corvidae are so great. Like, at these clutch rounds, they're doing such a good job. It's just the early rounds, the early game. Like, they just got to clean that up a little bit. Oh, man, they got nerves, that's for sure. Far out.
Whew, they're giving me nerves.
2 versus 1, clutch. Dan's going huge.
Yeah, a lot of that came straight out onto Dan's and Cruden, but overall, that was absolutely beautiful work from them. Iron, he has that AWP up. He's looking for that player around the edge of the smoke. He's not going to be able to spot out Zusi, who will just sneak across mid. The edge of that smoke is going to be so awkward for him as well. Ins is looking to peek straight out from unders. Dan's just going to put a little bit of damage up towards top mid. He's not going to get too lucky. But Iron, he's ready for Ins now. But unluckily, he just backs away at the wrong time. And ready. Church, he's looking for Cruden. He'll be able to pick up 1. Nikes doesn't go for that push, even though he's tagged down to 7 points of health. Nikes does try and go looking for Church, but instead he will not be able to find him. Church has managed to get himself all the way up into Palace. As this mid-split just might come through for Tainted.
Well, it's interesting to see that the B player... Oh, Tainted Minds opting to go back towards B side, are they?
It looks like it, but...
And the CT information pushing through T spawn, that he'll be communicating that it's likely to come towards B.
That was a little bit awkward. No idea where that came from, and we are actually back live. Small technical issues on our behalf, but Nikes will be able to drop Ins, will be able to drop Offnu. Lovely work from him. Ares will drop Yam. Now Zusi and Church in a 2 versus 3. Zusi's able to pick up Ares early. Still be hunting. Looking for at least something.
Three seconds on the clock, and that's a good round for the CTs. And oh, beautiful. And well, that was wrong. That prediction was wrong. That's for sure. Oh wow. Well, Corvidae's still well and truly in the game, but looking at them right now, they look quite quiet, subdued. I mean, they're gonna need somebody to step up. You know, put a bit of fire in their belly, get them out of the, you know, lift their spirits. They got a long way to go. They know they're 7 rounds behind. Come on.
It's interesting, they've gone for a God Gun here. Oh, well, not the God Gun. They've kept Zusi with the AK. They may actually be looking to try and frag up behind him. But Iron, he's pushed top. He's going to drop Zusi. That is your hero weapon already dropped.
And now Tainted, well, unless they can get their hands back on it, they've got nothing to lose. They will just push straight out of T main. See if they can get out onto A. Iron's able to drop off New. Nikez takes Yam down with him. Pushes up. Nikez will drop Church. And now Ins 1v5. If he can get like a 5-man Deagle collat, that'd be absolutely beautiful. But he doesn't get anything. Nikez goes hard, picks up 3 kills. And Corvidae trying to get themselves back into it. I said they needed 10 rounds in a row.
Oh, man, like, I'm excited for them now. That's a beautiful team ace, and they're doing the similar play to what Darksider did last week on Train. You know, like that early aggression at CT, getting those AWP picks and then playing off and staying alive. You know, I really liked it from Iron, and getting the 2 early frags, it's going to really help Corvidae every single round. So hopefully Tainted Minds don't catch on to it. Hopefully Iron can continue to get those entries, and here we are seeing a quick mid-play. This is really awesome.
I don't think Iron's actually spotted Zeus.
Nice!
Will drop ins. Lovely work from him early. As Yam looks to push out A main, Cruden holding on this side of the smoke, and Yam will drop him just through the edge. Spotting through, Chutch drops 1. Nikez has taken out Zeusy, though, in the meantime, brings it to that 3 versus 3. Nobody left on the A site. Dens trying to rotate in through jungle, won't get lucky. Yam's able to smoke off connector, and so much more of this control of the A site is now entirely in Tainted's hands. They have the bomb planted. The players looking to rotate through. That'll be Dens going down early. And now on the retake, Chutch!
Oh! Beautiful recoil
Spray control, my lord! Chutch drops 2, the second with the headshot.
That is so difficult to do. That was a crazy kill.
Well, 15 to 8. It's going to be a little bit awkward for Tainted to lose from here. If they lose any more rounds here, it will be absolutely shocking. But at the same time, they've opted for the double up setup on that side of Corvidae. Looking for a CT-sided double setup. It's going to be interesting. Iron, looking for that player. I don't know if he tagged Zeus or whether that was a nade. But either way, a little bit of damage has already gone in favor of Corvidae. Looking a little bit good. As Cruden, he does a bit of damage as well. Puts that nade over the top. Kobe comes through, drops Zeusy.
Nice.
Lovely work from him. And Yam also tagged down to 25 points of health. Nice work from the Corvidae boys. Offnu, though, sitting down at bottom mid, looking to push out of unders. As Yam, he's got a smoke. He's ready to just pop this over, try and cover off that top connector, but no, Ins. He's going to be able to cover off short. The smoke is still up right outside connector, but Corvidae, they have that advantage. Offnu, I don't think he actually saw the head of Iron. Then again, I don't know if I actually saw the head of Iron. This is obviously, the X-ray is something that only we can see. Unlike the players, they basically just get to see that smoke. They don't get to see anything more than what, well, that blue outline. That's just us. Cruden is going to fall to the hands of Ins. Early damage coming right back as it brings it to that 4 versus 4. Iron
nice
hits the shot onto Offnu. Pushing out, though. Chutch picks up 1. Doesn't expect this player under Palace, though. This could be absolutely crucial. Ares, he has the A1S, though, equipped, and this could... If he's not able to actually hit these shots fast enough, he will drop Yam. He looks for the second, but Chutch is able to peek in. He'll pick up Ares. That'll be Iron holding him from short still. Chutch going down. And Corvidae.
Iron, baby, going huge with the AWP. That's what he said he does, and that's what he does. He delivers. Nice shots.
Well, I mean, we got to have a chat with some of these players beforehand. And, you know, they were all absolutely ecstatic to be here. And Iron said to us, you know what, I'm going to go out, I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. I said, I really hope you mean in-game. He said, yes, I do. And, well, here he is. Here he's going. He will even be able to pick up Chutch nice and early. And he won't find anything else through the smoke just yet. Ins does pop off a single shot in return. Doesn't matter, doesn't hit. Smoke goes out into Palace, and Corvidae, they can just slow down and sit and wait.
Again, Iron with the entry. Oh, it's beautiful. His defense is rock solid with the AWP right now.
Ares looking to peek from short, maybe able to get something. Nikez has managed to drop off New Ares with a little bit of Molotov. Iron combines. Yam's able to get the only kill. But looking good. I mean, they did say they'd be happy if they got to double rounds.
Ah, let's go, Corvidae. Come on.
You want to see them 15-15 now, don't you?
Whoo! I mean,
you want to see them 15-15 then 19-15.
Yeah. Do I ever? Far out. How great would that be going into the next map? Ah, it's superb. You know, I mean, we've seen them go on runs. We've seen them run 4 rounds in a row. I mean, they're 5 rounds in a, you know, they need 5 rounds right now. Can they do it? I mean, they got to play better than they have this entire game. I think they can do it. I believe that they can do it.
Yes, as they do have that a little bit of extra aggression. Zusi down to a Galil for Tainted. Iron is backing away, and I hate to say it, but even though Dan's hasn't been doing much on that second AWP, it hasn't failed them yet.
Again, Tainted Minds opting for the really slow mid-play. Just getting control, step by step.
I believe they would have seen Iron's scope there, I believe. And they are just going to be able to almost force him back. He does head back through CT. And they are concerned at that boost, and indeed it will come through as Inns pops up into that mid-window.
Oh. We're really seeing a B split here again with the cut-off and rotation. This window room is going to cause trouble for them. But the CTs are ready for it with 3 defenders on the B site. Hopefully they lock down B apps and they do a retake onto the site.
Yeah, Inns is still going to be hunting in that mid-window, but as it is, the only thing that Corvidae have to look for is going to be in that B apartments area. Dan's just holding up, looking, gets tagged up very early, still getting shots thrown at him. Looking around, Nikes though, he's able to peek short, drops Zusi. Looking for one of these players pushing out apps. Yam's able to drop Aries, he picks up Yam. Off who gets one, Nikes gets another. Iron's dropped Chutch. And now Inns on the flank though. Spots Iron, will drop one. Looking for another Nikes, he's going to get tagged up heavy. Inns, he's going to be able to push out the window. Nikes needs to be careful here. The plant will actually come through.
Clever play from Nikes.
Now Nikes going to peek out. Inns! The double!
Wow,
he picks it up! And oh my goodness, that will cover it off. And Tainted Minds will be able to pick up the first map, 16-10. Oh my lord, that was a lovely spray there from Inns. I don't know.
And straight into the water bottle to cool off because he is hot right now with a 1v3 clutch. That was wow.
That's not something you expected.
That was the match, just like the game all over just then. I was not ready for it at all. He wrapped that up.
I don't think anybody was ready for that, and once again, we can look outside and we can actually see that the lights are, in fact, a nice bright green, almost in favour of Tainted Minds again. I wasn't expecting that, but it just proves that Tainted Minds, they're coming into this, they're coming strong, and as we said before, they've got everything to lose. Corvidae, picking up the 10 rounds, Iron said he'd be happy if they were able to really put it to Tainted Minds, and I think 10 rounds, that was at least putting it to them. They had them on the edge of their seat for a little while.
Oh, they brought it. Those clutch rounds, it's a mastermind of them, like their mind, their nerves. Like they did bring it. Like they're prepared to win this game. A little bit unlucky. If they had their 5th, they might be a little bit more fortunate. They might not be making as many mistakes.
You have to wonder though. Like, I mean, Nikes, he's already filling in. It's absolutely beautiful from him, and he picked up 3 kills in that previous. I do wonder.
I thought he had it for the boys. That was huge work on B side.
Maybe there's someone that can tell us why he didn't have it, and I'm going to have to say that person just might happen to be Dallas.
Well, thank you very much for that, Nutters. And I mean, what a game.
That was crazy.
I mean, that ending as well, that did really sum things up, in spectacular fashion, finishing that up. So welcome back to the desk. If you're just joining us, we've just seen Tainted Minds take down Corvidae 16-10 in what seemed to be a very dominant first sort of half coming out from Tainted Minds. Then out of nowhere, Corvidae with this surge, this glimmer of hope, getting themselves so many rounds on the board. But where to begin, Tainted Minds are so strong at the start. Zusi was just a frag machine, 2Ks popping off everywhere. What are your thoughts on Tainted Minds?
Zusi had a very good half. He was locking down that A bomb site pretty much every time they came out there. He was obliterating them pretty much. I think that Corvidae actually played a really good game. They should be proud of how they fought in that game. If you watch the game, you notice they lost both the pistol rounds, so that's 6 rounds right there if you add both halves together. So looking at it in terms of rifles, they actually competed quite well with Tainted Minds.
So I mean, Zusi, picking up quite a few sort of important frags in that first half, but towards the second, I feel like Yam was getting a lot of those sort of opening kills, which was really sort of setting things apart. He was very consistent in getting those early opening kills. Yeah. Obviously, Zusi there to back things up, and obviously Inns to sort of, I guess, seal the deal towards the end. Wrapped up like a nice little present there for the rest of the boys. I guess anything else you want to mention about the Tainted Minds side that stuck out to you?
I feel like all of them performed very well. Chuch had some very nice rounds actually. In the pistol round, he had a couple of nice headshots, followed up by that awesome spray transfer on A site there to close out the round. So I think Chuch actually played very, very well this game.
That spray transfer was absolutely smooth. What are we going to see here? But a Chuch right at the end of the game there. That was just beautiful stuff coming out from him. I mean, what an absolute flick, eh? And, I mean, now let's have a little chat about Corvidae. You know, bit of a slow start, small little surge there. Tainted Minds shut them down. And then, obviously, towards the end of the game, they started making plays and they started coming back. Now, the first point to talk about, obviously, is, you know, Corvidae not having their full roster. They don't have herbs. But Nikes was an absolute machine this evening. I think they should be extremely proud with that, obviously. And Nikes, what a guy. What do you have to say about Nikes?
I mentioned it before. Nikes actually has one of the best rifles in the oceanic scene. He is lethal with that AK or that M4. So
I mean, we see it right there.
Yeah, exactly. You see it right there. He did it round and round again. Even on the last round there, where Ince got the 3v1 clutch, Nikes basically kept him in the round with a 3K. So he can be very proud with the way he performed. I think he was probably their best player this match, maybe along with Iron on the sniper rifle.
Oh, we're taking it back to the clutch here as they just line up for Ince for him to seal.
Beautiful.
Map number 1 for Tainted Minds. So Tainted Minds do indeed take Mirage 16-10. And I believe next up we're going to Cache now. So, I mean, how is this map sort of going to stack up for both of these two teams?
If I'm correct, I believe the Corvidae are starting on the terrorist side, and this is a map where, unlike Mirage, they start on the terrorist side. Actually, starting on the terrorist side on this map is beneficial to you, as it is a lot easier to get map control on this map. So I feel like I said it last game, but they sort of proved my point right, where they started slow in both halves, and they sort of brought it back towards the end. If you want to beat Tainted Minds, you really have to come out of the blocks firing. You know, you can't be going down 5-0 and expecting to beat teams like this. They played well, but they're going to have to come out of the block strong, I feel, this game.
Well, I mean, we did see a lot of early aggression coming out from, you know, Corvidae. It was also, I mean, it's a strength and a weakness at the same time. You know, it's sort of one of those double-edged swords. Obviously, on Cache, you know, starting on the T side, they can sort of build that momentum, I feel.
Yeah,
you know, ruin that economy for Tainted Minds and then really get a foothold into the game. And, I mean, if you're Tainted Minds, you're starting CT side, how are you feeling, you know, coming into this one? What are your sort of thoughts? And, I mean, you've got to be watching out for Nikes now at this point.
If I'm Tainted Minds, I guess they sort of had the game in the grasp for most of it, and they sort of let it slide at a few periods where they probably shouldn't have. So if I'm them or I'm their coach Ferg, I'll probably tell them to, once they get on top of the game, to really put their foot down and go for it and not let Corvidae back into the game.
And, I mean, if you're the coach for the side of Corvidae, what are you telling the boys?
I'm telling them basically, be confident from your last game. Like, honestly, watching that game there, that was probably some of the best highlights throughout even the round robin stages coming from these lads. They really had some awesome individual skill this game, and a few of the executions were on point as well. So I'd just say more of the same from them. Maybe keep like fired up, keep ready to go, but do it from round 1, not from round 5 or, you know, later on in the game.
Well, with their backs against the wall, Corvidae in a must-win game taking on Tainted Minds. It's going to be Cache. Let's get right back into the action. Let's throw it over to our casters. Nutters and Wayfarer, take it away, boys.
I'd like to at least hope that the rooms are big enough that the backs aren't physically against the wall. That's at least one of the things that I'd be looking for a positive from.
Yeah. You know, well, so we're playing Cache right now, right?
Yeah, we should have Cache up.
Yeah, I mean, Corvidae got smoked against Greyhounds on Cache. I mean, their defense was really stale as CTs, but I think with Nikes and the team, yeah, he offers that aggression. I think he might be able to lift their CT defense on Cache. So, you know, there's some positives with having this player in the squad. It's also something that Tainted Minds probably haven't prepared for. So, you know, this could be this could be a really interesting game. And going into the pistol round, we're going to see those pistols, you know, on the USB for the Tainted Minds do some work.
I'd like to point out that Corvidae actually picked the T side to start here. So whether they're hoping to get some solid aggression out here, or whether they're just hoping for the best, I'm not too sure. But Dan's will be able to peek in. There is a flash. A decoy actually pushed out into A main. Offnude will back away, and 2 players already pushed in Squeaky. It's not looking too good. There is a decoy down as well for Corvidae, but instantly this aggression. Tainted Minds. Would you say they're looking confident already?
Yeah, oh, look at this. Huge first frag. Coming up behind. Oh, Dan for slow rate reactions.
Church, though, picks up the first 2. Nice work from him. Inns now knows that they have to be pushing towards him. Expecting Iron either side. Will be able to drop him. Picks him up as the push will come through. Inns still sitting in checkers. Nick Cruden looking for the kill, but Inns drops him as well. Looking for Nickers. Oh, the taps. 3 beautiful headshots for Inns right there.
Oh, look at the smile on Church's face. He is so happy. You know, when your teammate's doing all the work for you, you can just sit back and relax. You know, that's when you get the big grin. Like, whew, man, I'm glad we picked up Inns.
That's it. You just sit down and you just lean back in your chair. You're just like, nah, you guys can do it.
Hey guys, who's on B? Oh, Inns. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna, I'll just go back home. You guys got it sorted.
Let's go aggressive. Yeah, no, that's all good. But we do see Corvidae. They force up Deagles, CZs, Armor, single made on Nickez. There's Ofnu looking to actually flash his teammate in to A main. Zusi, that will be looking for something. Pops off a few shots, but will be nothing there. And you can already tell that Tainted Minds, they've got a whole heap of confidence on this map pick. They are looking, even from that first round, you say they're looking strong. They're just looking to build from map number 1.
Oh, they are a well-orchestrated machine. The amount of tactical presence in every single round that they have, it's just beautiful to watch. How they work together as a team, how they evade smoke lines, evade flashes, use flashes to get players into position. This is a team that you study because you want to play like them. You want to be as good as them. Very exciting to watch this squad.
Yeah, lovely work from Yam picking up their early first kill. And Chutch, he's looking for at least a little bit of something back towards the back end of Zcon. Cruden will be able to put down the smoke towards CT. The only problem now is that they have to fight that player on site. It will be Yem. He is going to fall down. That'll be Chutch going as well. 2 nice kills early from Cruden. Gets his bomb planted. Gives him a single man advantage, but the weapons, you'd say, are still in the favor of Tainted. Shots through the wall. And looking for something. There's Ofnu and Zusi. Zusi actually going to be pushing right the way through from A through mid. He could be on a hard flank that they're not expecting. And Ofnu, they're still looking. They do have a single, they do have 2 kits. One of those is already at the site. Ofnu's able to drop Nickez early. Zusi pushes through, drops Ares. Inns drops Cruden, and now they know where the final player is. That'll be Dens. Nice work. Both players have kits. Plenty of time, and you said it on the first map. They enjoy taking their time on these retakes.
Yeah, again, it's the well-orchestrated tactics. They give them time. They wait for the smokes to fade. The T's no longer have any utility to defend, and if they're not applying any aggression, it's quite logical to be able to calculate where the T-side players are going to settle and rest in their fixed positions. So as the CTs come out, they can pre-fire these lines and slowly just approach the bomb site with game smarts.
Yeah, and talking about game smarts, just zipping through those faces, you just see years of experience on even the youngest of their players, which I do believe at this present moment in time is actually Inns. So it's interesting to see that even at this stage, he's sitting here amongst a wealth of experience. Flash will come through. Yam is able to sit back in the box. He is spotted out though. Cruden will drop him. Nice work. Iron, he's already pushed up. He'll be able to drop Church. That's an open B site. Gets his hands onto an M4. Cruden's got his hands onto an MP9. Burning away. Nickez, he's dead. Ends with the perfect incendiary. Ends going to be looking through heaven as well. Zusi, he has a smoke. He'll be able to just pop this down. Just try and cover off that checkers area. And I don't know that smoke, but that is actually going to land rather nicely. Push will come through. Iron's going to get dropped. He picks up 1 in the meantime, though. Zusi picks up 1 and 2. Left in a 1 versus 1. Dance has 15 points of health. Zusi just 5. Zusi, though, he's going to be able to drop him. Lovely work, as Tainted Minds will pick up their 3rd round. Corvidae down 3-0 once again, but my goodness, the awareness of this man.
Ice cold stone face killer Zusi doing work. Man, this guy is all about the business. This guy shows up every day, and he shows up large. Zusi, my man, our Kiwi brother. You know, we're giving him all the love. Zusi, feel it. Woo!
Did I ever tell you that I'm actually from England?
Ah, yeah, well, I mean, you're here. Come on. We're doing a cast with New Zealanders and Australians. Like, that's what we're all about.
So,
and the Russians.
And the Russians, obviously.
Give that Russian love.
A lovely hostess. As it is, though. we are going to be focusing slightly more on the CSGO. Slightly more on Yem holding this angle from Checkers with his AWP. A little bit on Zeusy, just jumping round, jumping up, get down. But Flashes will head on through. Zion is able to just get around. They will be looking surprised there's no shots off through the smoke yet. But it does reveal that it will most likely be a B play. Nikez just avoids getting tagged up through that wall. Church are able to put down yet another smoke, just trying to hold the T's off. And it will actually force them at least back out of B main ever so slightly.
Well, Corvidae are going on what works, right? Like, they've had entries the last 2 rounds and got the bomb planted without losing a player on the B site. They must be frustrated. I think if they altered their nice from Iron on mid, they altered the way that they defended the B site, they don't give away the early entries, maybe perhaps they just let the CTs back onto B and then come on as a 5. Maybe they just got to think on their approach a little bit, but we've seen Iron taking them back into the game with 2 early entries. This is what we need to see.
Yeah, nice work from him. Danz and Nikez also combining, leaving Yam in a 1 versus 5. A position I'm sure he's relatively accustomed to, getting flanked in by Ares. Lovely work there. Corvidae, first rifle round, first round on the board for them. Get the bump, fist bumping.
Well, Keisha is the most popular pug map, so use it like in Australia and New Zealand. We see these guys playing this map every day. They practice it. They know this map inside and out. They know all the lines. They know how to shoot through the walls. They know the angles to take. It's going to be an exciting game, and I think Corvidae have a great chance, and that's why they've opted for T's, because they can rack up a few rounds here.
I suppose even if they can't actually rack up the rounds, Cash is quite often known as a CT-sided map. Maybe they want to give themselves a slightly better second half, or at least give themselves slightly more of a chance. But Offnu, he's going to get tagged up early. That'll be the shot from Zeusy, though. Picks up one, looking for another. Cruden's there to drag him back. Cruden will drop Zeusy as well, but Inns, my goodness, he peeks through, he picks up one, drops Nikez. He'll be looking for a third as well. He gets his hands onto an AK, and already it's not looking too good for Corvidae. Down to the 2 versus 3. Sorry, my maths. Wow. Not very well educated, am I? As Iron now left 1v3, looking for one of these players. Inns is pushed in close. Yam will push him closer. And now he knows where Inns is. Smoke. Sorry, a flash actually just going to go down. And it will be Inns still able to hold this angle. They've got the bomb down. That's the absolute crucial fact here as Church gonna look to peek out who could win this duel if Iron is on point. All he has to do is flick the wrist. But Iron, he's going to be looking. Church is backed off. He looks around, gets the shots out of Inns. Is able to actually drop him, and now he does have the chance to go back here. Wait, have they? For a second I actually thought they'd lost the bomb on top of the red bin. That would have been absolutely disappointing.
The CT players getting a good read with anticipating the players coming to A side, and he's going to get him on the cross, shutting down the plant. So Corvidae don't get the economy from the plant, which is going to be disappointing. That's a really disappointing round for Corvidae. That mid control, Dance was too fast on Rafter, peeking sandbags. If they had a molly, they were fully equipped, would have forced the CT player out. He did miss the shot. Yeah, just tactical mistakes on that presence on mid. It really let Corvidae down, and they lost the trade to pistols.
It's almost disappointing, though, because Tainted didn't manage to save any weapons either. So, well, they saved a deagle, which it's not exactly what you want to be taking into another rifle round. So, you do feel slightly bad for Tainted. They get all that success out of an eco and don't actually come out with anything, barring that extra number on the scoreboard. Yam, he's going to be looking around. He's getting very aggressive towards B main. Iron does not have an AWP this time, so Yam, you'd say, has at least a slight advantage in that sense. As Danz and Iron both gonna get flashed, forced back ever so slightly while still holding in B main. Looking to peek through Church. Hopping some shots off. Shots off. Wow. My God, my tongue needs to start working a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll get you a glass of water.
Oh, thank you, mate. We'll be seeing Inns picking up that first frag onto Iron. Offnu and Inns both going to peek out into mid. Both spot that player on boost, and that'll be Cruden dropping. Lovely teamwork from Tainted. Chachi's holding on this B site. He's still able to drop Dan. Zeusy takes out Nikez now. Ares left 1v5. He'll pick up the first kill onto Inns. But now these CTs, with that aggression, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try and push in on him here. Chutch indeed will push into B main, will drop him, will be able to pick up the AK as well. So 2 AKs actually saved out of this for Tainted on at least a slightly more positive note.
But Chutch just there, anticipating that Ares is going to walk into his crosshair, and just patiently waiting, and tat. There we go. And Imps showing how much damage he can do. They're 5-1 up. There's 10 frags. Nice.
Yeah, lovely work. Zeus just going to put that Molotov up onto the boost. Does force Ares back very early. Corvidae will be looking for a little bit of magic with their own Deagles here. Zins will be able to pick up one. Gets aggressive. Picks up a second. Looking for the third onto Nikes, but he won't get it. Cruden now looking to peek through, but Offnu, he's ready for these players. He's ready for at least one of them. Sabots and tags Cruden up. Will drop him. Looking for the second two. Looking to get them down. Both Ares and Nikes tagged. Flash goes through. He'll drop Nikes and Ares now. He's going to get peeked in close here, most likely by Zeusy or Chutch. But this nade, no. Yes. Oh, it's going to do it. Chutch will drop Ares. And lovely work from the Tainted boys to pick up their 6th round. Nice little bit of work here as Tainted, well, they've got a double up set up very early on this CT side. They will be relatively happy as Corvidae, they at least get the 5 rifles out once more. That eco does pay off at least slightly for them. Dan's looking to peek around in B main. Nobody's actually getting too aggressive into him. Yam is looking... My goodness, I do wonder whether Yam just has the, I suppose, too much confidence, or whether he just knows he can sort of peek out and get these kills. Somehow, Offnu is able to push right through that Molotov and drop Cruden. Shots through the wall will wear him off a bit, but Nikes pushing straight out Squeaky. He's able to drop Zeusy and Offnu and Dins! Lovely work from him. Gets this A site wide open in the CTs. You wonder if they're already ready to save, but Chutch, he was able to drop Dens. Shots through the smoke. Nikes looking for something. Will be able to just hold them back for a moment. But whether that's going to be enough, these Tainted boys, they're happy to try and push this. They know that they've got an advantage, even with a man disadvantage. Flash over the top. Yam looking. Hits the shot onto Nikes. Lovely work. Iron and Ares now 2 versus 2. Iron on rafters. Will be able to tag and drop Yam. Gives away his position though. Chutch looking. Can't get the kill. Will be able to just put the smoke right next to the bomb. Taps it. Doesn't actually get onto the bomb. Will go onto it now. Just backing away, looking for anything, but Ares will drop him. And Chutch will fall in the end. They will get away with both the AWP and the AK. And Corvidae will pick up their 2nd round.
And Nikes just showing up for Corvidae once again with the 3K getting a site. He's doing work for these boys. Oh man, he's earning his check. Fire out.
Well, indeed, everybody's earning what they're here for. And Tainted, interesting that Chutch is down to just a P250. A little bit odd to see, but hey.
And that's right. I mean, these players just aren't here for, you know, a bit of fun. They're here for money. They're playing for $10,000. That's what the prize pool is. That's what we're giving away to a winner. We brought them here. They got to show up if they want a piece.
I think I wouldn't mind a piece. if I was playing, I definitely wouldn't mind a piece of that.
Yeah, maybe they need to remind them. We need a briefcase. We need to make it rain.
We don't have $1 bills in New Zealand. The lowest we go down to is 5. That'd be awesome. It's not as many $5 bills as it would be $1.
Man,
it's like 5 times as...
I want to be rolling in the Rutherfords.
That's one way to put it. But Tainted, well, they don't have to play too aggressive here. They've gotten that first pick onto Nikes at a cost of a lot of health off of Offnu. But he does have that assistance on the A site. Iron looking to peek around towards B. And you have to wonder if this player close will be able to get out of here as Chutch will just be sitting here with his P250. And oh my goodness. Flash will come out. He picks up one. Looking for a second. Gets the second onto Iron. Looking for the third. But Ares will trade him back. That was lovely work from Chutch. The P250, I was saying, why has he only got that? It doesn't matter. He makes it work. Ins will drop Ares, but Cruden, he has to do something here. He's got 20 seconds to work with. He's going to try and force the plant. Yam's just going to push through and pistol whip him down. Tainted will knock it up to a 7-3. But my goodness, that has gone so wrong for Corvidae.
Well, the least equipped CT player doing work with the P250. Yeah, it's just a beautiful team flash, a well-executed, push with the P250. I mean, what more could you ask for? All three of them lined up perfectly. I just disappointed they didn't check that box like all the way.
Ah. You feel kind of bad as well, but the fact that Church only had a P250 meant that his player model wasn't going to be sticking out as far. So if they're expecting everybody else on rifles, they don't actually see that part of him sticking out. They maybe just thought, hey, well, they must have left this part open. And I feel like the difference between a Tier 1 team in Tainted Minds and the semi-Tier 1 team in Corvidae is you saw that team flash. I don't feel like we're seeing that as much for Corvidae. They're sort of flashing for themselves to get themselves kills.
Yeah.
Dens, he didn't need to flash there, but he does pick up the kill. As Cruden looks to peek around, gets tagged up. Church will drop one, drop two, drop the third. That's Cruden, Aries, and Dens all falling at the big man's hands. Tainted get themselves a half, 8-2, a nice early lead. Looking absolutely beautiful in this best-of-3 series.
And I think this might be Church's map. We haven't really seen him as a big-time player for Tainted Minds. I mean, he is a big-time player, don't get me wrong. But we're really seeing him do work early, and it's taken them to an 8-2 lead. And that's trouble. That spelled big trouble for Corvidae. Oh, he's got some of the best recoil control I've seen all tournament. That spam with that 3K was beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And Corvidae, they'll get some rifles back up. Nikez onto a Galil, as he so often seems to be, and I really wish... Actually, would that be wallbangable if he had an AWP?
No. Oh, no.
No, it's just through the wrong part of the wall, eh? No. And the stairs, I believe. Oh, that'd be... you can just imagine it, can't you? You just got it going through your head now.
Reddit.
Yeah, that'd be a Reddit. But as it is, Cruden and Iron both sitting back towards A main, and they know just how aggressive these Tainted players do get. And they will have heard a little bit of noise. Offnu will be ready for this, and they're actually having to flash themselves into an area where they should have control anyway. It's a shame to actually have to see them do this, but they know that when Tainted are on point, they are on point. Smoke will go down. Inns will just back away in mid. Church still just going to sit it up there. Nade over the boost. Won't do any real damage. Harry's ever so slightly tagged. Church, though, he's aggressive in this smoke. Into mid. My goodness, he could catch all 5 of these T players off. But no, he actually heads towards Useless instead of heading towards this A site. We'll rotate through now, but Inns, high up on rafters, will be looking for something. He's got that supporting player. Cruden's going to be the first one down. Church behind. Aries is able to drop Inns, but instantly looking too good here. Offnu's able to drop Iron. Pushing through. Offnu and Zeusy combine for the final 2. Tainted will pick up their 9th round. And already, Corvidae are not looking good in this map. It's, well, I mean, they haven't been looking good since it was about 5-2.
Look at those faces light up. The smiles on Tainted Minds.
It's beautiful.
Just, when you're winning, it feels good, doesn't it?
Everything feels good. You see those smiles, you're just like, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I don't really want to see the Corvidae lineup at the moment, because I don't think there'll be too many smiles from their room.
No, there'll be sweat. They'll be sweating. They'll be pretty stressed out.
Nikez, though, does actually manage to drop Zeusy, and I feel like I've seen Zeusy actually get deegged more than he's deegged tonight.
Yeah, which is surprising, because he's done some damage all tournament with that gun. Oh, I'm sure it's one of his favorites.
Yeah, Nikez has actually got his hands onto the AK, but he most likely wants to actually get this over to someone like Cruden. You do wonder if that could have worked out slightly better had they waited, maybe gotten that gun over to Cruden and given him the men with at least a little bit of armor back up against these rifles. But instead, it's now on the hands of Aries. He has to find something in this 1 versus 4. And he may as well go looking for something over towards this B side. It is where the bomb is. He does expect Tainted to get aggressive. And now that they actually are playing slightly more passive when they do get these picks, you really have to wonder if they've played into Corvidae's head.
I think so. Corvidae, they're getting slower and slower every round. Oh, I think the early game plays on B, with the entries, they just got to think about how they can stop the retake for the CTs. They should go back to that, because that worked.
you know, besides the one round where Chach was sitting behind the box with the P250, they've had good presence on the B side.
Aries, well, the presence on the B side, very short-lived there for Aries himself. He picks up one, is instantly taken back. And you don't see too many smiles from the Tainted boys this time. I think they've sort of settled in.
No, definitely back to business. I mean, they want to wrap this up. They know how these games can change. You don't want to let them back in. They get hyped up, can be the match. You don't want to be struggling on the second half. You want to get as many as you can. 13-2, that's what they're going for.
I mean, you do have to wonder whether maybe Tainted, you know, they were the first team to go to overtime last week with Darksided. So we do have to ask the questions as Yam will drop Iron as to whether they do have that small concern that if they're not careful, if they do let their foot off that, I suppose, off the jugular, whether Corvidae will have something to bring back into this. Either way, Cruden looking to peek out into mid. Molotov comes over to try and force him back instantly. Peeking around, Inns looking to do a little bit of damage, but instead will be able to back right off up highway. Just looking to peek around the E-box area. But Cruden, he's got that mid control now. He wants to turn this into at least something. Inns just peeks out. I don't know if he spotted Cruden, but it does feel like he's got that information. Flash comes over high. Will be avoided by Cruden. Gets a small tag off. Just looking for this push towards the A site now, and the bomb will indeed look to join him. Denz has picked up ones, but Inns is right there for that refrag. Offnu, he's still on that Shroud boost spot. He picks up one. He's looking for the spray control onto Nikez, but Nikez will drop Offnu. Inns has actually pushed himself back to truck, looking for Nikez to push around into him. He's expecting him here. Flash comes over. Nikez will fall. And Tainted 11-2, 13 rounds in. And with 2 rounds left in the half, this could be an absolute throttling.
Oh, this is the knockout punch. This is the blow that they've been planning to give them all match. But again, you know, like we saw the chemistry and teamwork of Tainted Minds. Before that player peaked from truck, he had a team flash. And that's what we see from Tainted Minds all the time, every single round. They're just so good at it. They're so well tuned. You know, if we see that play from Corvidae, it's a highlight reel. But for Tainted Minds, it's just every day of the week, like every single round. That's what they're going to do. Smart CS. Got to appreciate it. Australia, New Zealand, yeah, really showing business.
Yeah, he's actually going to smoke himself back out in checkers just to put that Molotov out. He's going to try and get a team flash in for a peek as well, and he will drop Iron. Cruden gets one back in return, but Inns getting aggressive into mid. Doesn't expect to play a close white box. That is Aries. He's going to fall, brings it down to that 3v3. Corvidae will be looking to take over at least one of these sites. Cruden looking towards B. Will be a... I believe he spot... Did he spot the player? He will have now. He is actually getting burnt up. He has to back all the way into the corner. Needs to be very aware that Offnu could just spam him. Oh, we saw it last week on Train. I want to see it again, to be fair. I want to see him going through the wall, but Chuch will be happy enough to oblige. Drops Cruden as he tries to push through checkers. And now we're left in a 3v2. It leaves Aries and Nikez an attempt towards the A site, where I do believe they will have to deal with Zeusy, who I'd say overall tonight has been absolutely on fire.
Actually, statistically looking at Zeusy, he's actually one of their biggest performers against Corvidae, usually topping like 110, 107, 105 ADR. That's huge. He's dropping 20 to 30 frags against them in, you know, out of the 11 last games.
Sadly, he falls early, and he doesn't actually get to show us what he's made of, as Aries will also be able to drop Offnu. Nikez and Aries are doing a good job of trying to hold on to this. Chuch will look to push straight up towards the truck area. I was going to say the Chuck area. That would have been an interesting one. But just get flashed out. Nikez will drop him, and it seems that Corvidae, they have a chance of getting back into this. They at least want to try and pull something out of this round.
Yeah, well, there's the coach right behind them, Dinky. That's what we need. We need to see him lift his spirits up as well, so he can get behind the boys. Come on!
Chair slaps.
Woo!
That's what you want.
Chair flat.
Flaps.
Oh, far out. Yeah.
Chair flapping.
You know, maybe a shoulder massage. You know?
Yeah, shoulder and neck massage.
You gotta do something to get these guys lifting up their game. But again, it has been the kids. You know, he has been the star performer on this map. He's been the star performer for Corvidae throughout. You know, in fact, he's taken a little bit of the shine off Iron. But they need more than one player to step up to beat a team like Tainted Minds. We need to see Cruden play his best. We need to see Dan's on the lurk. It's a team effort when you play Tainted because they trade so well. Yes, they indeed do. Often he's got an aggressive into A main again. He'll be able to drop Iron, and the team flash is coming through. It's absolutely beautiful from Tainted Minds. They pick up another early first frag. Chuch, he's actually playing a rather aggressive position in checkers here. Aries is going to fire off some shots. Chuch is able to just peek around into him. Expects the play pushing B main. Drops Dens as well. Cruden gets the first frag in return. Inns, he's going to get the team flash come through for him. All this team assistance from Tainted. Ofnu will drop Nikez. Cruden left 1v4. Has to find a team ace. But that will do it. 12-3 the half goes in favor of Tainted. And you can see them. Those game faces, they're still on. They're still here to do business.
This is picture perfect from Tainted Minds on their defense. Just the chemistry, the rotations, the flashes. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and it does seem as though Fergie's trying to give them some positive reinforcements, I suppose. As you just saw that little smile come up, Ferg. I'm sure he'll be pretty confident. He'll be pretty happy with how everything's going. And we do have a small technical pause coming through. So I just have to say, what do you think out of that first half was... how have Tainted just come through this so easily?
I mean, they're dropping nukes right now. Like, it just annihilated them. That is the greatest lead that you could possibly ask for, really. I mean, other than doing. I did not bring that up. We brought that up so many weeks. If you know what I'm talking about, the donut. Whew. Yeah.
We can't really bring the donuts up anymore. He's no longer involved in the competition. He's been sadly knocked out towards the end of last week.
Going into this pistol round, it is so important that Corvidae gets some momentum going into it. If they get some momentum from the pistol round, they can at least build on the economy. Maybe they can stabilize the defense. They've got Iron's AWP, Nikev's rifle. They do have a lot to offer. They've just got to be able to turn it up. And here we have Cruden with a nice one tap on mid.
Oh, but Chuch instantly in there to get one back onto Iron. Lovely work from him. Not even a headshot either. It's just those little bits of damage flying out. Ofnu opted for the utility. Flashes and smokes. Aggression tries to come through here from Cruden. Trying to get aggressive, but you can already see that it's not the exact same. Inns is able to drop Aries. As Zusi looking to peek out. He gets the dink onto Dan's. 8 points of health. Trying to go through the door as well. He knows that he's tagged him. He knows he's got that dink. And sadly, it's Corvidae that have Dinky, but they are getting dinked more often than not. Nikez looking to pick up Ofnu, pushes up, will be able to pick up one, picks up the second onto Chuch. Lovely work, reloads. The player's actually pushed down into tree room though. Pops a shot through the smoke. Zusi looking to peek out. Zusi gets the dink back. And now Tainted. The bomb is down. Inns is going to be able to push up through heaven. Zusi is there to assist. They're both going to peek out. Nikez spotted out, and Zins will finish him off. Tainted Minds 13-3 up. Lovely pistol round from them.
That was great work from Nikez on the defense on B, but the T-side players managed to kill both the rotators. That is a letdown, especially when you got your guy who's isolated on B, who gets those 2 entries with the USP. That's really nice to see. But again, the Tainted Mind players, they just played these 1v1 role, peeking every single line across the map. Then they fell back when they got the information a player was on highway and on A site. They knew there was one player and they just used their numbers to push onto side and win the round.
Yeah, definitely tried to overwhelm him, and a lot of that came down to Zusi and his role on that A site, especially when Inns managed to get that first pick. It just sort of combined, allowed them to work together, and in the end it was both of them that actually won the round for Tainted. So both those players actually pushed towards A, came in absolutely clutch as these MAC-10s will do a lot of work. Ofnu picks up 1, 2, 3, but now him and Zusi are left in a 2 versus 2. Zusi's able to push out and pick up 1. Aries rotating up through highway. The bomb is still down. He does have a CZ and armor. Ofnu will get his hands on the bomb. Zusi looking to peek around. He's just missed him. Aries is actually able to get the kill onto Ofnu. That flash will go up. Aries won't get full blinded. But Aries will push up close. Drops Ofnu. Zusi, though, coming from the same angle, will pick him up. And Tainted then knock it up to a 14-3 lead. These boys will be confident. They'll be happy. And already you have to wonder, do Tainted maybe have the confidence thinking, now they've got it in the bag? I think so. I think they would have been really happy with getting Cage. I thought it would have been one of the first bans from Corvidae, especially because the last time that these two teams met up on this map, it was a 16-2 win to Tainted Minds.
Yeah. Well, Corvidae are already doing better then, I suppose. Yeah. When you look at it that way, at 16-3, possibly.
But I guess that just says, how big the Tainted Minds map pool really is. It's really hard to know which maps to ban because you just want to ban all of them.
Yeah, just ban everything. You know what? We're not playing you guys tonight. We ban all of the maps. Offnu and Chutch will combine as Cruden has managed to drop ends. Dans will now be left in the 1 versus 4. He's got a deagle. If he's actually able to do a bit of work here, he might just dent the economy of Tainted Minds. But sadly, the Mac 10s, those SMGs, all doing just a little bit too much work, you'd think. Yam is waiting for him on the flank. Will drop him. And now Tainted. You can see it. They've got the confidence in them. They're happy.
And we're going into match point. This could all be it.
It indeed could be it.
And you know what the element is, right? That is
surprise?
The element that makes Tainted Mind so great.
Surprise?
Well,
it's the element of surprise, isn't it?
It's the Kiwi boys. It's Offnu and Susie.
Come on, you can't deny that this is just an awful lot of play, though, coming out from the Aussie boys themselves as well.
We know why that Aussie Rules football team bought them. It's because they got that Kiwi flavour. Bring it on.
As it is, Offnu and Ins will combine, pick up the first few frags, and you feel like Corvidae, they're happy to just get this over with. They don't want it to go an awful lot further. But Aries, he still has a shotgun. If he can pick up 4 frags here, it's entirely plausible that Corvidae come through and absolutely annihilate Tainted from here on out.
That's a man of a dream. A man of a dream.
Hey, when I have an over, I'm more than just a man with a dream. I'm a man with 4 kills.
Oh, talking a big game. Fire out.
Hey, I'm just trying to talk Aries up here.
How come they didn't call you up? You should have been in here. That would have been the difference, I reckon.
Oh, Chutch, no, he's just done a 360. He's going to be hunting. He's going hard. He will have spotted him out.
No!
Aries will get 1 kill. But now they know where he is. He'll actually get his hands on the AK. He'll peek around. But that should almost cover us all off. Aries will pick up Zusi. He's still looking, but you'd think that with this bomb being down, Ins will drop him. And that does it for the Let's Play Live Alpha Invitational semi-final. They absolutely annihilate it. Tainted take that one out 16-3.
Yeah. Well, we knew it was going to be a knockout for Tainted Minds. That was the team that we want to see in the grand final. That's the team that we expect to be able to win it all. And they put on a show for us. They destroyed them.
Well, let's be honest. We all sort of came into this. We thought, looking at all the teams, we thought it would be a Greyhound versus Tainted Minds grand final. I feel like it's what we've expected, and I feel like that's what is actually going to put on the absolute best show for us next week.
Yeah.
Hard luck to Corvidae. I do wish them all the best in all of their future endeavours. I really hope that if we do end up running a second season, maybe we get them back here. Maybe they come through. Maybe they have a nice strong lineup. Maybe they have all 5 of them this time.
Well, this is a team that's really going to grow. Corvidae is a fantastic squad. Like, they're improving every week, and with time, they're only going to be better. They're going to go through. They're going to be a better team next time. So.
Well, that indeed does it for us, myself, Nutters, and my good friend Chris Wayfarer Davis. And that does mean that we only have one person that we are left to throw it back to, and that indeed is going to be Dallas.
Thank you very much, Nutters. And, I mean, we've just seen it there. Hard luck to Corvidae. Well fought first map from them, but they've just been taken down in very convincing fashion on Case. 16-3. And take out the series 2-0. We'll be progressing to the grand final next week to take on Greyhound Gaming. So congratulations to Tainted Minds. And I mean, Tom, how do you feel about that second map there on Cache? Not much Corvidae could do.
No, that was a bit disappointing on their end, I guess. But to be fair, Tainted Minds really did come out of the blocks fired up. They were basically on point from the first round in that game. Chutch again hitting some nice headshots. He was really on point tonight. I think he played really well. But Tainted Minds basically just locked down that CT side. They gave Corvidae no space to move or anything, and within, halfway through that first half, the game was pretty much locked up for Tainted Minds, and yeah, they just really pushed through that one.
Well, we do have our interviewer on site with Tainted Minds ready to go, so let's throw it over to Katya and see what Tainted Minds have to say.
Thanks, Dallas. I'm here with Yam currently from Tainted Minds. Congrats on your win. So you were favourite in this series. Did you expect such a clean win?
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't really lost to these guys ever, I don't really think, in a series, so we knew it would be pretty comfortable. So yeah, we just played our normal game and we won.
Were you surprised of how Corvidae did on Mirage?
Not particularly. We just got a bit sloppy in some rounds, so gave them a bit of momentum and stuff, but yeah, we finished it out pretty easily.
Nice. So next week you're versing Greyhound in the finals. How are you expecting to do?
I think we'll still win. I think it should be a bit closer though. Greyhound are definitely a better team than Corvidae, but yeah, I still think we should go into the game as favourites, but yeah, it should be a good match.
Awesome. And how are you preparing for that match?
Just our usual routine, I guess. Just go home and keep practicing as a team, and yeah, that's it. Come back and play them.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that, and good luck for next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that, Kat. And I mean, we see it there, you know, the confidence coming out from Yam.
Yeah.
He says, you know, taking on Greyhound, like they're favoured.
Yeah, well, I guess they are. If you not this tourney, obviously. LPL Greyhounds got the up on them in the first week, but if you look back to historically speaking, Tainted Minds probably are the best team in the region, so they have all right to be confident going into this game. However, I feel like it definitely won't be a blowout in this finals game. It's going to be very close and tight the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see that. So yeah, the big boys taking it on. But I mean, let's just have a quick, you know, sort of recap of Keish there.
Yep.
I feel it was like really good. You know, we've really seen Chutch sort of step up tonight. He's had a lot of, I guess, highlight moments. You know, a lot of the time it's been on Zeusy. You know, Ofnu as well gets quite a lot of sort of, you know, 2-piece, 3-piece sort of plays. In's obviously been that big clutch player, but Chutch here with the P250 was absolutely great stuff there when they, you know, they didn't have a lot of money there, a lot of economy going into that round. The pop flash into B main. Great stuff. I mean, what sort of stood out for you there for the side of Tainted Minds?
I just noticed that they were just another nice spray transfer here from Chutch, but they were very sharp today in that second map. You watch all of them, they're hitting pretty much headshots all of the time. Their teamwork was on point, you say there, for that 2 USP kills, but there was the flash, which really enabled him to get those 2 easy kills. So I feel like their teamwork was really on point. You've seen it a few other rounds. You've seen Ofnu getting pushed into the A main area to clear that out with nice team flashes and that. So I feel like they're another level up on their aim, but they were also another level up on their teamwork as well, which really bolstered the scoreline.
That's one thing I've noticed, you know, across like all of the players here. Not only just, you know, the ones we've mentioned, you know, Yam getting a lot of those entry kills, but also, you know, as a whole, you can just see the speed and the quality, you know, of those spray transfer kills, you know, when they do play on LAN. So for anyone who's just sort of watched their first game of Counter-Strike, with the players actually playing on LAN, you might have noticed the difference from this week comparatively to last, how the players are able to hit some of these just absolutely insane shots.
I noticed it more with the spray transfers, you know, they really quick to flick onto another opponent and just snap that head. So yeah, definitely enhanced on LAN for sure.
And I mean, if you're just joining us here, so we've just seen Tainted Minds take out Corvidae 2-0 in the best of 3 here this evening. They will be progressing on to the grand final. We can see Mirage. Corvidae did put up quite a fight, but Tainted Minds did take that one 16-10. And on Keish, it was just all Tainted Minds, 16-3. Not too much Corvidae could throw at them in this one. But yeah, next week taking on Greyhound Gaming. I mean, your personal sort of insight into this match?
This is the big game basically. Even from round 1, everyone sort of knew in the back of their mind that these two teams would most likely be in the finals. We were hoping for some upsets and stuff along the way, but it wasn't to be. But for these two teams, honestly, you can expect a lot of fireworks. Both of these teams, they're very similar in my opinion. They both have very good teamwork, but they both also have close to the best players in the Oceanic scene playing for them. So it's pretty much two powerhouses going head to head, and it's a coin toss in my opinion.
Well, you know, we put some of the faces to the names here tonight. You've obviously got to meet Tainted Minds and Corvidae, but here next week on Sky Sport and live on Twitch, it will be Tainted Minds taking on Greyhound Gaming, where we will indeed get to meet Greyhound Gaming and, I mean, see how they're going to fare against the big dogs that are Tainted Minds. And, I mean, Tainted Minds already feeling a little bit confident, obviously.
Yeah,
you know, they've
definitely
had a chance to play in the studio. You know, they've got used to the, I guess, the setting, the aura, the atmosphere, the aroma. It's nice.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. Lovely aroma. But we'll see, obviously, how that goes for them. What do you think, for them, because it is their first time coming to the studio, you think there'll be some nerves?
In terms of nerves, I think potentially they might have some. However, Greyhounds are somewhat a team like Tainted Minds. They've been to international events. They've been over to Asia multiple times where they've competed with top tier 1 European teams. So I feel like nerves isn't something that will get them too much. However, just the whole factor of going to a different country, playing on a new computer and that, it can mix things up. So, yeah, I guess you'd have to wait and see for that one.
I mean, the other thing as well is, they've just been overseas in China, I believe, and then they're coming to this. And then I believe after they play the final next week, they're going back to China. How does this having a hectic schedule like that sort of play on them? Do you think they'll be fatigued?
In terms of fatigue, I think they should be okay as they've had a few days rest. However, in some aspects they are hindered because they don't have enough as much time to prepare for these events. Also individually they haven't been playing the game as much as they've been overseas traveling and whatnot, so they might not come into the game bringing their own personal A game, which you really need to do, especially when you're versing a team like Tainted Minds.
Most definitely, and I mean, from what we've seen here tonight, Tainted Minds, close sort of first match there, but second match, what an absolute scary team to come up against.
Once they got their foot, once they got rolling, they were very impressive tonight.
All right, well, I mean, next week I can't wait for the matchup, so do make sure you are here tuning in for that one. From all of us here at LPL, I've been Dallas Easy Fighter.
Thomas Blackout Richmond.
He's just a master of this now. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week for the grand finals.
This presentation was brought to you by Playtech, technology at play. And Logitech G, game with passion, win with science. And Samsung, redefine the game.